Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 14 of SEO Tells. I'm Itamar Blauer. I'm joined by Craig Campbell. And today we're going to be talking about the infamous TikTok and how Craig Campbell has become such a popular figure in that social media platform. And, you know, I must say, I've I've watched some of your stuff and definitely takes a lot more effort than stuff that I would do if I was on that platform. But I think let's kind of just go from the beginning here. So, you know, why did you get onto TikTok? What was your thought process? Was it to make people laugh? Was it to get leads? Like, what was the thinking there?
It's certainly not to get leads, put it that way. But I'll tell you the story because this, potentially some of the moves I'm putting out on there are not going to get me any leads. They'll put people off. But no, on a serious note, I was over in India at the start of December 2019 at a SEMrush conference speaking at an event. And loads of the guys there were like, "Are you on TikTok? Are you on TikTok?" And I'm like, the fucking hell is TikTok? And people kept asking because they wanted to add me on TikTok. And I'm like, nah, I'm not on TikTok. I just assumed it was an Indian thing. And then I bumped into this guy. His name's Digital Pratik. Quite a nice guy. He's not an SEO guy as such. He's more of a digital marketer. He does loads of stuff on Instagram and all that. And he was one of the speakers at the conference, and I got talking to him, and he said at that point, I think it was something like 6 months he was on TikTok, and he had 1.2 million followers. And I'm like, fuck. Now, I was asking him what kind of content he was putting out, and it was nothing like I was putting out. So what he was doing is he'll walk about doing loads of interviews with loads of people, and he'll chop them all up into small sections and upload them on there. And I spoke to a few other people, and they said TikTok's really good for educational content. So I'm sitting going, he's got 1.2 million followers. He must be able to drive a ton of traffic to, other sources and stuff like that. Let's give TikTok a try. So downloads TikTok when I come back to the UK. And I'm looking at it, and I just see all these kids and stuff like dancing around and goofing around. And I was like, fuck, if I put up something about SEO, it's going to have no traction whatsoever. And I did put up something about SEO, no traction. Done some stupid dance, and people were. The more people that like it, the more exposure it gets. And I was just goofing around on it. But I was mainly set it up, one, to see if it would work for me the same way as it did Digital Pratik. But two, just it's also another platform. And I think, I've only really become fairly big on TikTok in terms of using it. I'm by no way famous or good on it or anything like that. There's people a lot better than me. But I've only really become, more frequent on it, if you like, during the lockdown. And it was more of just a, fuck it, let's have a laugh on here and show people that, it's not always just about marketing stuff all the time. We can do some silly dances and have a laugh. So I don't really do it with any great seriousness. It's just more of a laugh now, and it is becoming more popular as time goes on, because people are saying, "Craig, do a TikTok, you've not done one in a while." And I even had someone yesterday like tweeting me saying, "Here's an idea for you," and stuff like that. So it's people, I don't know, I've had some people say, "Craig, please stop the TikTok," and I've had some people say, "Keep it going." So unsure what to do with it.
But I think that also because around 60% of the users of TikTok are Gen Z, right? So that provides opportunities for some marketers who are targeting these customer groups to actually go ahead and make content that's relevant to them. So do you think, based on the experience that you've had, and like you said, you tried to put out SEO content, it didn't get much traction. Do you think that's because you weren't consistent enough at putting enough SEO content out there? Was it the way that you advertised it? Was it the kind of, I don't know, the way you described the content that you put out? What do you think it is? Do you think maybe you were a bit too late to the party, or what's the thinking there?
No, I think it comes down to where I'm located. Obviously, being in the UK, no one really sees TikTok as a serious platform, to promote a business. People here just see it as a joke. Whereas I think people in India, which is where I first saw it, treat it a bit more differently. They're treating that like a proper social media platform, and people are going on TikTok to get educated and stuff like that. And I think, it really comes down to where, the location you're from. There's certain countries where certain platforms, take off better than others. And I'm not sure if it's just the sheer volume of people in India that made TikTok, more of a, overall good social media platform where you can post some joke stuff, but you can post some business stuff. Whereas here, I think we've already got enough with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so on. And I'm not sure that TikTok is taking that serious here. That's just my honest opinion of it. And even now, some people are like, "What?" When you mention TikTok, like, "What the fuck's TikTok?" Or they always remember its old name, which was Musical.ly, and that was pretty much, the branding and all of that kind of stuff was more focused towards kids, just goofing around on it. So I'm not sure if it's that, or maybe I wouldn't say too late to the party, because I've looked at other SEO people on there, and other than the kind of boy in India, I don't see anyone doing anything outrageous on there in terms of driving traffic to their businesses. And I don't see a lot of the bigger names in the marketing world promoting their stuff on TikTok either. So they're not really doing anything different from what I'm doing. There are a few on there, but they'll just be goofing around.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, because I saw somebody who posted on, I think it was on Twitter, they were saying that they found this TikTok account, and it's this girl who's literally showing tips in Excel, so Microsoft Excel, but she's just doing some dancing below it. So there's like a little short tutorial, but with just some dancing underneath. So it's and that account apparently has a massive following. But I think the point that you mentioned before as well about the kind of audience base and the countries and demographics specifically, really recently India had banned TikTok in India. So I think that's going to massively impact that platform, because I'm pretty sure it had the most, the country of the most downloads for TikTok was in India. So that whole political tension leading to this ban, that's going to be quite a big problem for them. But I think generally speaking, maybe because TikTok isn't as popular here in the UK, I still think that in America, for instance, there are a lot more people who are using that platform. Obviously, America is a much bigger country, but I think that around the world there are still communities that might be interested in this kind of stuff. But would you say that in terms of targeting on TikTok, when you put out content, do you have a way to see what kind of demographics you've got, users from which countries? What did they give you in terms of the analytics?
Yeah, I mean, you see all the kind of usual stuff, demographics, age, male, female, all that stuff. But it's, when you release a video, all you can really do is use hashtags and a description. So it's not something you can over optimize. And the thing with TikTok as well is something really shit could go viral. And when, you could spend hours and hours and hours making a real good video, and you think this has to go viral. It's funny, it's got this, it's got that. And if people just don't engage with it right away, then it doesn't really get shown to a broader audience, and you've no real way of manipulating that. So I think, in terms of using it as a marketing tool to kind of drive traffic in, it can be very hit or miss because of the lack of control over stuff. But, with, America being a big country, obviously India was a big audience. And I'm sure there's many other countries that I've just not even looked at that are probably frequent users of TikTok. I'm sure there'll be some way that you can monetize it. For me, being in the SEO industry, I think, we're probably very niche. Whereas if you were maybe selling kids' toys or gadgets or something, there may be a lot more opportunity for you with TikTok. Whereas SEO, it's kind of boring. No one really knows what the hell it is, apart from us in the community. And, it's a very small proportion of probably the overall TikTok audience. So it's just not one that I see doing that well going forward. But I'm going to keep it. And I will keep putting content out in case it does come good, because, again, Twitter and stuff took years to kick off properly. I had Twitter, actually it was my 9th birthday on Twitter yesterday or the day before. So I got Twitter in 2011 because someone said to me at that point, oh, Twitter's the next big platform, and I kind of put it out, I grabbed I signed up for it, looked at it and thought, what the fuck? I don't understand this shit. And it probably was a few years later that I really started to take it a little bit more serious, because I think a lot of people are like that at the start with platforms. How are we going to make this work for us? And I think that's where I'm at with TikTok just now, because I'm not going to make a lot of money with my dance moves. And how can you turn dance moves into, come to me for training? It's quite hard. So yeah, it's a real hard one. But the boy Digital Pratik, what he done was, I was just like, fuck, there's so much opportunity here in terms of being able to get on there and get that Indian audience over to my website, over to my videos and everything else. The one big thing I did find, though, is the fact that this boy speaks Hindi and I don't, is why he's so popular. And it's obviously one of the I know India's got, multiple different types of Indian language, but Hindi is one of those ones that not many people speak. And I think he kind of found his niche with that as well. And I think that's why he had such a thing, because we could all, share SEO tips on YouTube, Facebook, and everything else. We're all speaking English to some degree. But the Indians love when stuff's in Hindi, and I get comments of people saying on my courses, oh man, I wish this was in a different language. I can't really understand this guy and stuff like that. So I think, the Indian audience, if you could speak Hindi, that would give you that advantage. And that's where I think that boy, Digital Pratik, did get a good bit of growth from it. But as I say, I don't know what's going on with TikTok just now. Obviously, India have banned it. I've also read somewhere the other day that they had kind of malware on it or something, and they were able to watch what you were doing, or I'm not sure how much of that's true. But there's rumours that Chinese hackers or whatever were watching your every move through your phone by downloading TikTok as well. Not sure how much of that's the truth. So there's a lot of negative stuff about TikTok just now, and I think that may hamper its growth overall. So I'm not sure TikTok is something, to a bunch of marketers, I would highly recommend in terms of being able to generate leads at this present time. If you said to me, Craig, should I join in? I know you've got TikTok and you're probably goofing about on it if you've even done a video.
Not yet.
But if you were ever going to say to me, Craig, where am I going to get more leads? Do you think it's worth it? Absolutely not. For the time being, I don't think there's any great traction from it from a business point of view, but it can be a lot of fun watching other people. I still, even to this day, flick through the videos at night, seeing other people doing stupid stuff.
So in that case, I've got two kind of final questions. So if you are trying to set up and you do want to try it for yourself, would you say, like, question number one, should you stick to one niche or try a few different types of video categories? And the second question is, what are your top tips to get engagement on your videos if you do want them to at least perform well? Like, should you be asking people to go on and kind of like it for you? Should you be using, or like, what kind of, optimizing the hashtags in a way, or the description? Like, what would you recommend?
So one, the first thing I would try out a few different niches. Because it didn't work for me doesn't mean it can't work for you as a business. I think trying to sell SEO on it doesn't work. At the moment, if you were selling headphones, gadgets, or something else, you've got a much more generic audience who are clearly going to be interested in that type of thing. So don't be disheartened. Give it a try anyway. In terms of, optimizing your videos, there are hashtags and stuff you can use to try and get out to the right people who search for hashtags. So that's common, with a lot of different social media platforms. So one, I would do that. Two, what I would do to get any kind of traction on TikTok, you have to be funny. You have to do something that's out of the ordinary. If you're just going to dance there like Mr. Bean or something, a few of your mates might laugh. But for the wider audience, you see people and they're just doing the most outrageous dances, and just letting loose. They're just doing something that's maybe just not been done before, and that is what people want to see. They don't want to see the same old crappy dancing or whatever you want to call it. So you be unique, be creative. That is what happens on there. The more creative, the more unique you are. Basically, their algorithm, the quicker you get engagement. So when your video gets published, if in the first 10 minutes it gets a bunch of likes and engagement and people are watching it from start to finish, they're then going to show that to a slightly wider audience. And if they keep liking it, it's going to get wider and wider and wider, and that's when it becomes viral. They're not going to showcase videos that only get watched for 3 seconds out of the 15 that you've recorded. So I think you have to slam it home from the start. You have to do something at the start of that video to capture them as well. But other than that, as I say, it's quite restricted in terms of you're allowed a description, you're allowed hashtags. The rest of it is really up to your creativity and how you conduct yourself on camera. And listen, I've done stuff that I thought was really funny and it get little to no traction. And I've done stuff that really wasn't that funny and it got serious amounts of traction. So it's really bizarre. Like there was one video where I asked the wife, so she was standing above a Coca-Cola bottle, literally just above it with the camera. And I was trying to kick the stone or make it look as if I was kicking the stone from like 10 feet away and it was just dropping in the bottle, where indeed she was just dropping it in the bottle from above where she was recording. Mm-hmm. And for some reason that got something ridiculous, like 40,000 views. So it wasn't even that funny. It was blatantly obvious that that's what she was doing. I was kicking the stone that way, but the thing was landing direct right in the middle of the bottle. So it's a weird one. And it just has to be liked by other people. That's the thing. Whether you think you're funny or not, it's a different story, and the truth will come out when you start making your videos. So give it a go, though.
So basically, we can end it on like be unique, be creative, and be funny. And if you don't tick all those boxes, you're better off trying a different platform, or at least not to try and sell on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that kind of sums it up, really. I think TikTok is an interesting platform because of how viral content has become on it and how popular the app has actually become. But, I think for this week's episode of SEO Tells, I think we'll end it there. And if you did like this video, leave a like rating below and give us a comment if you have actually used TikTok or if you do plan on using it in the future. But on behalf of myself and Craig, we will see you in the next one.